What's going on, everybody? Obviously you clicked on this video with hopes to improve your aim in Warzone. I'm going to be going over 5 main topics that I believe are going to be very valuable for you to improve in this. They all have a few subtopics within each. You can see here that I am on keyboard and mouse, but that won't matter, as the topics that I'm going to be going over are going to be applicable to controller as well as keyboard and mouse. So I'm just going to give you a brief overview of all the topics now, and then we can jump into the specifics of each. So we have elevation, movement, crosshair placement, positioning and decision making, as well as sensitivity. I'm not going to waste any more time, so let's get into this. Beginning with elevation. Here's a quick example on how elevation will help you in scenarios. Obviously, I'm not trying to promote camping on buildings, but elevation is an easy way to have an advantage on an opponent. This is going to give you a top-down view, which will lead to easier and more headshots, as well as having a better view of the fight. This will allow you to support fire, as you can see I'm doing here, and give callouts for teammates. As well as in more specific situations, you can get kills from people flying in.
Our guy ran away.
Okay.
They're flying in. 20 HP, dead.
Nice.
One more thing I want to mention in regards to elevation is making yourself a hard target by using cover to head glitch on. This brings me to my next point while I'm on the topic of making yourself a hard target. Movement. This includes jumping, sliding, and mounting. Movement is a mechanic in Warzone that will separate a good player from an average player. Constantly jumping around corners while pre-aiming and sliding while being shot at can make the difference between winning and losing a gunfight. If you've played Call of Duty, I'm sure you've encountered someone drop-shotting you and winning the fight because of it. This just shows how important movement is in helping you improve as a player overall. I'm just going to let this clip play out. As you've seen, I've been constantly using different forms of movement while in and out of combat. Moving along with crosshair placement. I wanted to show this example in-game as some of you might not be familiar with this. This includes having your crosshair at the enemy's height level. Let's just pretend I'm chasing somebody out this doorway. You don't want to be doing this. You want to be doing this.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Notice how my crosshair is always placed in a position where they could possibly be. If the enemy I was chasing were to swing back out where I am chasing, I would still be prepared to shoot them right away. Elevation is extremely important to keep in mind for this. Of course, it may be hard to have perfect crosshair placement at all times, for Battle Royale games especially. When the maps are as big as they are, there are countless different levels of elevation throughout. For example, say we're having a fight here at Fire Station, and one of my teammates call out that there is an enemy up top. If I am looking to push to Fire Station itself, I want to be keeping an eye up there as well. This would look something like this.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Moving forward to my fourth point, positioning and decision making. A few things I wanted to cover in this topic include using your surroundings, avoiding open areas, picking smart fights, and keeping in mind the ranges of your fights. Using your surroundings include being aware of the cover that's near you. Maybe you just jumped out of a car and you're using that to cover, or you're behind a structure on the map. Another small thing that I believe is overlooked is avoiding open areas. Whenever you're moving around the map, try and picture someone is looking at you at all times. If you were to get shot at, try and have something close to you that you know you'd use as cover. Moving along to picking smart fights. Maybe you see a team first and you get the first shot of them, or you have an elevation advantage, or maybe you're coming into a fight that has already begun as a third party. These are all examples of smart fights to choose, and I know it may seem obvious at times, but for team game modes, numbers are your friend. 2v3s and 3v4s are infinitely easier than 1v1s or even 1v2s. Lastly, keep in mind the ranges of your fights. Is it a close, medium, or long range fight? You obviously wouldn't want to be using your MP5 while shooting at someone that's 150 meters away. Keep in mind your loadout and what your options are. If you have a shotgun and you're within 20 meters, use it. If you have a sniper out at the time, take a second behind cover and switch to the right gun for the scenario. Finally, talking about sensitivity. Something I want to make very clear is that your sensitivity is unique to you. Sure, you can go and watch your favorite streamers and YouTubers and look at their settings sensitivity. You might like it, you might not. Give different sensitivities a test. What I find is the most important aim mechanic in the game is tracking. Your opponents are always going to be moving, making them a harder target. Being able to comfortably track an enemy is going to be ideal for making your time to kill as fast as possible. Trying to find a sensitivity will give you a balance between allowing you to navigate around the map without having to crank your arm or joystick all the way around constantly, but also be able to track enemies consistently. Trial and error is going to be your friend with this. I know I've personally run out of mousepad space while in the middle of a fight. Because of this, I knew I had to increase my sense to not encounter this potential fight losing scenario again. There's much more to say about your sensitivity, but I'll leave that for another video. To quickly recap, don't forget that your sensitivity is personal. Just because someone else is using a specific sense doesn't mean it's going to work for you. These have been a few points that I believe to be the most impactful in improving your aim in Warzone. If you feel that I've missed anything or have any questions about anything I've mentioned, comment it down below and I reply to every comment. That's all for this video. I hope you've enjoyed and I'm looking forward to hearing how these tips have helped you improve. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching and peace out, guys.